Good afternoon, everyone. Please forgive the sunglasses. I'm trying really hard not to get a migraine. I have been trying to get this video made for a couple of days now, and this is a video about why I prepare on a weekly schedule a pot of rice, a pot of cubed potatoes, a pot of pasta, and refrigerate all three of them. And I do that so that I can have it readily available anytime during the week that I want to. But the main purpose of me doing that is because I know that it creates a resistant starch, which is a whole lot better for your body and your blood glucose. When you refrigerate cooked rice and pastas, or basically white food, what I call it, you're triggering a process that's called starch. Let me see if I can say this word, retrogradation. That's a mouthful. Which basically is changing the molecular structure of the starch and increasing its resistant starch. Resistant starch is some type of a carbohydrate that resists digestion in your small gut. So instead of it being broken down into glucose, it reaches the large intestine where the gut bacteria ferment it into short chain fatty acids like something, I think it's called butyrate, like what's in butter. And butter's really good for you, believe it or not. And so this actually improves your gut health and slows your blood sugar spikes. Now, I had someone ask me about the cooling aspect of it. And the way I figure it is freshly cooked starch, the heat during the cooking opens up the molecules and makes it easier for the digestive enzymes to break down into glucose, which is not that great. So when you put it in the refrigerator, as the food cools, the molecules can actually reorganize themselves, if you will, into a lot tighter and more compact structure. And that structure is harder for the body's enzymes to digest, so more starch is passed through the small intestine as resistant starch. Another question was posed about how long do you leave it in the refrigerator? Well, for me personally, I've been doing this for years, and I always leave it in there for at least 24 hours. That's just been my thing. Unbeknownst to me, during some research, turns out that I was right, because the longer and colder the food is stored, the more retrogradation occurs. As to how it lowers the digestible starch, I guess it's because the more starch that's resistant, it's less available for the immediate glucose production, and you get fewer calories absorbed. It creates a smaller after meal blood sugar spike, which is a really great thing. Some of the other benefits, I guess you could say, are for like diabetics that have insulin sensitivities, or people with gut health, and even staying full. Helps you stay full longer. Who wants to eat a meal and then like 30 minutes later feel like you ate nothing, or feel like you could eat more and more? Let's see, what else? Reheating. Reheating doesn't matter because the cooled white food actually does not destroy the newly formed resistant starch. What it does do is the retrograded structure is heat stable, so reheated leftovers still have reduced digestible starch and calories. I guess you could say, to sum it up, refrigerating starchy foods after cooking increases the resistant starch retrogradation. And what it does is it lowers the amount of starch that your body digests and absorbs as calories or glucose. And gut healthy. I mean, what's negative about any of that? And you already have it accessible, ready to reheat. When I want to make potato salad, I've already got it ready. If I want to make mashed potatoes, it's already ready. All I got to do is take them out and drop them in a pot of hot water again, just to get them good and hot. Throw some butter in, mash them up, cream them up, whatever, and I'm good. Rice, when I cook my rice, I usually try to think about what type of rice I want to make. Say, for instance, this week, what I made was what I call a tarragon rice. I just put some chicken, I put some chicken broth, some tarragon, some powdered garlic and powdered onion in it, and I just steamed it on that way. I put it in the pot, let it boil hard for 5 minutes, turn the heat off, put the lid on it, and let it sit till it all absorbs. That's the way I always cook my rice. Let's see. The pastas. Yeah, the pasta's kind of because sometimes I want to cook spaghetti, sometimes I want to cook or fix a cold macaroni salad. You never know what you want to do, but at least if you have it cold in the refrigerator, you'll have it ready to use anything cold you want to make, as well as anything hot you want to make. You can just take it and just dump it in the pot or mix it in a bowl, and you are good to go. And anything that you don't use during the week, and turn it into some sort of a super stew, anybody's guess potluck kind of super stew at the end of the week, and nothing goes wasted. I guess I'll say I hope you have a good afternoon and don't get any migraines, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.